Hi, welcome back to Lock Into Exams, a series where I vlog myself studying the course that I'm in and teaching you guys more about what's going on inside my course, and hopefully you guys learn something too. So now you guys might be wondering, why am I in a lift and vlogging? Well, just to say, I'm stuck in a lift. Anyways, so we're currently at the end of the week, and I just thought about doing a little recap of what we've done, and also probably give you a rundown on what happened throughout the week.
Alright, what's good?
What's good?
What's good? Alright, so today's the first day of school.
Right.
Today's the first day of school. And we are somehow working before school. How's it like working before school?
Well, I have to wake up like early in the morning.
Yeah,
so
what time do you wake up?
I woke up at like 6, I think.
Oh, hell no.
Then right, when I came here, right,
Yeah.
from Dover to this school, right, it was a long ass journey, and I had to walk. I walked all the way. Yeah.
You walk all the way.
It was 23 minutes or so.
23 minutes
Yeah, it's just
of
walking.
walking.
Yeah.
Okay, so for those who don't know, we are working in a company that teaches coding to the younger generation. So today we are working at a school close to SP. I wouldn't say what school. And also, if you guys are thinking of a school that is a school, yeah, SP, I don't think you're at the right school. But anyways, don't stalk kids, please. So how's work so far?
It's okay.
It's
Honestly,
okay.
right,
Yeah.
the kids, right, they listen,
Yeah, they listen.
But then some of them, they don't listen, then I cannot do anything, but I try my best. It's better than the other one, The other one's quite rowdy. It was quite rowdy, yeah. But this one's, it wasn't that bad. It's pretty good.
So with school starting, right? So like, what kind of preparations are you doing?
Preparations?
Yeah.
What preparations?
Meaning like, because I'm doing a series where vlogging myself studying. So like, what are you gonna do, or what's your study plan to get the GPA that you want?
Oh, so right, before right, I was like failing everything because I wasn't putting in effort. Now I'm like changing. But then one thing is that I'm like really lazy, and sometimes right, I can get addicted to my gaming habits again. So right now, I think what I'm going to try new right is to get like a study plan, timetable lah. And you really need a schedule, that's it. Yeah.
Welcome to day one of JAD. As you can see, the classroom looks really nice. There's a lot of TVs too. But you know what I'm not happy about? Why does the classroom need 6 televisions for? SP has so much money to bring in 6 televisions, but they can't even spend any money on the toilets, and the toilets are still broken after I don't know how long. Today for JAD, we've learned about the different tiers of architecture. So for the first tier, it's basically the users using the website on their own computer. So for example, a developer is using the website that he has created on his own computer. That would be a single tier because no one else is able to access it other than the developer himself. This website is not scalable and not usable by everyone, so that's why a second tier is created. This second tier consists of both the client and the database, where the client is the user desktop environment and the database is the database. So the client side does most of the processing, such as calculations, validations, and communications with the database. And this brings up some security concerns where, since users are directly communicating with the database, hacking can be done easily and it's not that safe. Also, if a large number of users use the website at the same time, this would cause bad performance on the website because the database can't handle so many requests at one time. So as you can see, this is not really a flexible or scalable method to use for our websites when we create it. That's why a third tier is introduced, where we have 3 layers. First layer is the presentation tier, which handles the UI and inputs from the user. So basically this tier passes all the user requests to the next layer, which is the business layer. Inside the business layer, it manages the business logics and workflows, where it helps to process the requests and interacts with the data within the database. And this database is in the third tier, which is called the data tier. And this third tier manages the data storage and retrieval and helps to perform CRUD. And for those who don't know, CRUD is create, read, update, and delete. And this is how we write logic to help with the communication between the business layer and the database layer. So basically, this whole architecture is a cycle where users input something into the presentation tier, then the business tier will process it and tell the data tier to retrieve or store something. From there, the data tier will return data and the business tier passes this result back to the presentation tier to show the user on the UI. So after JAD, we had a CI/CD lesson where we learned more about GitHub and also the functionalities of GitHub. So we learned more about local and remote repositories, where local repositories is mostly on our computers, our personal working copy where we can make edits and commits to the remote repository, which is the GitHub you see online. And everyone can access this remote repository unless you set it to private. So for the functionalities, we learned more about Git fetch. We also learned about Git merge, where it combines other branches' work into our current branch. For example, if we are on the main branch and other teammates have worked on another branch, for example, features, we can use Git merge to add the features commits into the current and main branch. Now moving on to day 2. For day 2, we didn't do much during our CI/CD lesson. We just went through why we're using GitHub, which is mostly what we did on day 1. But nevertheless, we have a hardworking Alan though. For JAD, which was after CI/CD, we learned more about the differences between JavaScript and Java web pages, where JavaScript runs on a browser while Java runs on a server, for example, TommyEE. JavaScript makes web pages interactive while Java builds web apps, APIs, and servers. And Java is much more efficient. It enforces data types and class data architecture, which makes it harder to make mistakes with different data types. So Java is mostly for making apps and back-end stuff, which is, I'm really interested to see how we can use it to make web pages. Moving along, we have secure coding. This is our first secure coding lesson, which mostly during this class, we were going through a few examples of how hackers use different methods to hack our website. So for example, over here you can see an AJAX, which is similar to a fetch function within JavaScript. So basically, the goal here was to set our high score to 500 so that we can break the game that we were playing. So all we had to do was literally just change this Y value into 500, and it was really easy to hack this game. But we didn't really learn how to prevent these attacks yet, so yeah. When I get the real account, then I can show you a live demo on how it works, but we're gonna have to wait for next week to show you. And now you can see, I'm finally out of the lift. So, today, this week has been not really nothing much is going on. It's very chill actually, and I think that the assignments that was given is quite easy. It's mostly based on, for example, secure coding is based on what I've learned already. CI/CD is mostly about GitHub and whatever we've learned about GitHub back when we were doing other coding projects and other. So I think that it's not gonna be that difficult. But that's only week 1, it's only the introduction of school. So, yeah. Okay, so if you guys have any other questions or anything that you don't understand throughout this video, you can leave it in the comments and I'll try to see whether I can explain it. But for now, it's quite late, so I'm just gonna take a quick nap. So, I'll see you in week 2. Alright, good night. I'm so tired.